witches.
Hi, hello. Welcome to episode 2 of The
Episode
Sun
2.
and Its Shade.
The sun and its shade.
I've been extremely tired recently. I think it's the heat. It's been like 100 degrees. Mixed with being at the beach yesterday, mixed with not getting enough sleep.
Listen.
Or I'm just not getting into this book right now because I fucking struggled.
No, I think right now we're in the like build up part of the book, so it's not super exciting. So that it was definitely a struggle to read. But I'm also tired because we got kids back at work and then we got the baby this weekend for 2 nights and she does not sleep through the night. Well, she like fights her sleep, so she screams when she's falling asleep. And if she wakes up in the middle of the night, she starts screaming. And I didn't even go to sleep till like 3 o'clock this morning because of the baby.
Parents of children, whatever you're doing, do not under any circumstance take your child on a fucking car ride to put them asleep. Because if they live or go to the Americas to drive,
Yeah.
they will be the worst fucking car partner ever.
Yeah, that was not the problem. She didn't fall asleep
No,
in the
that's
car
me.
either.
That's my problem.
My parents did that when I was growing up, but I didn't. Like, I prefer to drive rather than be a passenger.
No, it
But when
doesn't
I am
matter.
a passenger, Emily said I fall asleep no matter what.
Oh yeah, no. Like I could literally sleep for 10 hours in the car, drive for an hour, and then just start yawning and start nodding off. Like it doesn't matter. It's just like the car lull. It doesn't matter. Like unless I am hyped up on energy drinks upon energy drinks and like blasting music and having consistent fucking conversation, I am the worst person ever to have in the car with you. It's not, and I get car sick as a passenger, so like it doesn't fucking matter.
Yikes to all of that.
Yeah, like the 12 and a half hour road trip to Indiana, I drive maybe 3 hours of it total.
Yeah, that's probably about how we're going to be. I'm going to drive the majority of the way, and Britt's probably going to drive a tiny bit.
Go through Tennessee during the day so you can see the mountains. It's a very pretty drive.
Mm-hmm. I think most of our drive is going to be during the day, like because we can't drop the dog off until 7 a.m. So.
Oh, so yeah, you'll be great. You'll be fine.
Yeah. But anyway, this is probably going to be a relatively short book episode because there just wasn't a lot to comment on. Chapter 6 is basically Nox, Ash, and Malik like breaking back into Aubade, right?
Yeah.
Um
And ever since
and
the whole riots or things started happening and the dragon got loose, like the security, like I guess it's always been required to have paperwork to get into Aubade, but now they're like scrutinizing everything. It's like trying to get into America from another country.
Yeah. And Nox basically just flirts her way in. She doesn't even need to use her powers. She just fucking flirts her way in. And that's really all I wrote
in and of itself
for the whole fucking chapter. That's all I wrote.
I would like to say though, on chapter 54, it's actually really kind of refreshing. I had a lot of like annoyances in this entire thing, and I honestly am like, I'm getting a lot of vibes from like Harry Potter in this entire book thus far, and I'm not gonna comment on that because I'm not gonna like drag an author, but there's like some shit that like this author has gone through, I guess, after all of these books were started coming out. I think it's kind of made me see in a different light, so I'm like reading to like actually see if everything's true. But So I'm just annoyed, I think, right now, just at everything. Plus, I'm tired, so that just makes it worse. But I will say it's really refreshing to see like male characters, and this is probably because Piper CJ. I don't know what kind of sex work she did, but she claims to have done sex work at some point in time, and so like she's gonna do like a strong female character, and she's probably gonna have like supportive male characters at some point in time. This is probably why, but it's really nice to see a male character not degrade a woman for flirting to like get
Mm.
what they want, because
Yeah.
in a lot of books, TV shows, movies, or whatever, one of the only ways to get what you need or what you want is to do what Nox did, flirt her way in. And as soon as they do that, everyone's like, we could have done
Oh,
it a
she swept
different
her way to
way.
the top.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, but like this benefited you as well. And I
Yeah.
like, and
And
that
it was
person didn't have to
easy,
do
and there
anything.
was no
Yeah,
death. There was no, like,
it was literally just complimenting, batting eyes. Like it was acting. That's literally all it
yeah.
was. It was just acting. So it's really, really nice to see the male characters not like degrade her for what she has essentially been trained to do as a member of the Selkie. And it's also really nice too because she tries to like laugh it off by saying, oh, we could have put your tests or your skills to the test if
If
you
you
would have
had worn
had
the
that
dress,
emerald dress.
yeah.
Yeah. And he goes, oh, don't worry, like swords will be next or whatever, because she's like, I earned my keep at least. I might not do swords, but I at least earn my keep. And he goes, no, swords will be next. Like, don't worry about it. And it's
Yeah.
really nice to be like, oh, don't worry, you're still going to be powerful, whether
Yeah.
it's this or with swords. Um, Also, apparently, I oh, never mind. I wrote this for oh no, yeah, I did. Okay, so on page 57, um, Malik and um so like they're all at this inn right now. They're sleeping or they're getting ready for the night. Malik, Ash, and Nox are all talking about the queen and how the queen had a daughter and why she like how they're talking about the power and the magic it might take to consistently show what this I don't know what this the boy projecting the boy I guess, but also like showing what the like the curse. So like they're talking about this and kind
Mm-hmm.
of getting like an idea on what they are going up against. And they're saying that like the princess died early, like years before everybody, like all of these people, and like these people are probably like 20s, 20 something maybe at this point, not even 20 something. I'd say like 18, yeah, like oldest at this point.
Yeah.
But they're talking about all these things that happened way beforehand, and I'm like, didn't the king have like a son? Like, didn't the king steal something like like an important person or something like that from the Southern Kingdom? And it's like I thought the king had like a son of some sort, but then what if the princess? Because at the bottom of this it says the man had a vaguely noble title and lands. I want to say it was an advantageous alliance. Wouldn't it be a good alliance to have ties with the Northern Kingdom? So, what if the princess's baby daddy, husband, whatever, was actually the princeling or king or whoever of the Northerns? Like, what if Prince Ceres was that? And I was like, that would make sense where the curse all started from. Some
Yeah.
shit happened, they pissed him off. It's kind of like the Witcher.
Yeah. So I
Like
talk about that a little bit later when in the next Nox chapter, which is not till like the last chapter, I don't think.
yeah,
Um,
that's her last chapter. She only has 2.
but I talked about that in one of the chapters because they're talking about, or maybe it was an Amaris chapter where she's talking to Gadriel, but they're talking about how um, oh, it is an Amaris chapter. I'll come back to it. I just realized when it is.
I was like, you're about to say something, aren't you?
Yep.
But yeah, that's all I have for
chapter 6.
6. Yeah.
So chapter 7, we're back to Amaris. We're at the university. She's kind of hanging out and exploring. And she asks Cora if she can draw. And I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, it was a weird request. It was like out of
Yeah,
left field.
It was super weird. And then she's like, I was wondering if you might draw a picture of what you see when you look at Gadriel. I've only ever seen him as Fae, and I know he looks terrifying to everyone else, and I feel like I need to be able to see what they see, even just once. But when she was at Umriv, didn't she have like a book of all the different monsters and creatures?
Yeah.
So you're telling me she's never seen a picture of an Agimni before?
But that's the thing. Aren't like Agimni different?
Probably, but still, like,
but
you're just
also
being petty.
Yeah. Well, and to kind of go off of that too, she was talking about like, oh, well, what do you want to do with your life, kind of thing. And she was like, oh, well, my mom was a very like skilled person to talk to metal. My dad was a very skilled this. They did this, they did that for the queen, and then I'm here to do this because it's important and it'll make me money, essentially. And she's like, yeah, but what do you want to do with your life? And she talks,
that's not what I fucking said.
yeah, and she's like, oh, I would like to draw or something. And Amaris starts telling her like, well, my life was set in stone, this is what I was supposed to do, and I'm sure I would have brought me a lot of money and I would have been, maybe even good at it, but that's not what I would not have been happy. So I took, destiny in my own hand, and now I'm excited. And she goes, oh, do you make a lot of money? She goes, not at all, I have no money to my name, but I'm happy. And I'm sitting here like okay, let's just get one thing straight. There's a meme that goes around and it's like, money will buy you happiness, and there's always that one little comment that it's like, money would buy me happiness. 99% of my problems, everything would be cured by money. And I'm sitting here like, doing things to make you happy is great, but girl, not in this economy, not with my hobbies,
not in capitalism,
not
right now.
like no. Honey boo boo, I cannot, like, I'm sitting here like, I stress out more over my fucking bills, and I still do my hobbies, but I can't even like enjoy life because I am so tired from all the stress and anxiety of, if I have to go to the hospital one more fucking time, where is that money going to come from? I have maybe 2 months to figure out where all that money is going to go to for that bill. And I'm already on a payment plan with the hospital. Like, I can't do that again. And I'm already doing this for my credit card. Like, I can't do that again. And I'm sitting here like, money won't buy you happiness. No, fuck you, Amaris.
Yeah, honestly.
Do you want her to fucking die of starvation because she's a goddamn painter? No.
Yeah. Money won't buy you happiness after a certain degree, but like,
did we ask Feyre if she was happy?
Oh my god.
Being a painter? No, you want to know why? Because she had all the fucking money in the world opening up her goddamn shop.
She was already rich. It didn't matter.
it don't even matter because everybody is fucking rich nowadays. Everyone's like, oh, do what you love to do. Okay. Like there's a girl sorry, side quest. There's a girl that used to be a dancer for the prestigious Gold Dusters dance team,
Mm.
and then she used to be like like one of the like twirlers for the Purdue team, and she was also like a beauty pageant contestant. She, won a lot of awards. She did a lot of competitions, whatever. So she's putting her kid through the same thing, and I'm sitting here like, this is not. I don't think this is good, but whatever. But like, I purged my Facebook. I was like, I don't even know why I'm friends with you. Like, she's friends with somebody I went to high school with because like she was also in the beauty pageant world, so like she connected through them. But she popped up because of like Purdue. And I was like, who the fuck is that? I was like, oh, huh. I remember her spouting about like a lot about like, God and Trump and all of that kind of thing. And so I like clicked on her page and I was like snooping. I was going through, and let me tell you, girl does not look healthy. She looks like she had a lot of work done, like fake teeth, like lips. She looks like her boobs got pushed up from like having two kids, and now she's like in the Mrs. America pageant or whatever because she's like Mrs. Indiana. Like she's like doing a lot of shit, and I'm sitting here like, look at all those hobbies she's doing and having fun because she doesn't fucking work.
She can afford it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't look healthy. She looks too skinny, but
Yikes.
pageants. What can I say? But anyways, I digress. Anyway, that yeah.
Yeah.
So it's money. mm. Fuck you, Amaris. Shut the fuck up. You're gonna
There's
fucking feel
literally a
nerves.
point later where I say fuck you, Amaris. Amaris in these chapters, I'm not here for her. Like,
Yeah, no.
I am, yeah. Anyway, the only other thing I commented on in chapter 7 was just the library.
Yeah.
Oh, the
This
library.
this is kind of where the Harry Potter vibes started kicking in. Like
Yeah.
everything's enchanted, all that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
will admit
There's
it's
because
hard
there
to
are two
like.
different libraries. There is the regular library that was already like amazing, and then there's an enchanted library later.
Yeah. But so she's at this library. She's trying to figure out a way
How
to
to fix
save,
his wings. Yeah.
yeah, Gadriel's wings. And here's the thing. I understand you're trying to like, fix whatever the fuck is going on with you two. That's only one-sided.
Right.
But
And like I get very irritated at her in the next chapter.
cuz it's really frustrating. She's like he's at he wants like first of all, he's a general. He might see her as a friend, but they haven't gone through a lot together personally to like
No.
reach that camaraderie, to reach that status. And like I understand her like reasoning a little later on, but it's frustrating because it's like you guys met, like the dark fae as you call them saw that you can see them for who they truly are. And then they were like, this is advantageous, we want to use you, we want your help. Oh shit, we're attacked. That's literally it.
Yeah.
And then you guys go to Aubade, and then boom, here we are. That's
Yeah,
all
and
that happens.
for some reason you think that makes you guys best friends. I
And
mean,
it's literally the one that did not like you, that wouldn't talk to you.
I
Now, if
get
it
it
was
somewhat
Zakai, I'd be like,
though
yeah.
because
What,
of
with
the
her?
way that like well with him and her. I get it somewhat because he did come for her when she was like taken in the palace and didn't get out. Like he came in to get her. Um so I somewhat get it where she thought that, but she's acting like a fucking child in these next couple chapters and I fucking can't.
See, I
So
see where you're
are you
coming.
ready for chapter 8, or are you still in chapter
Uh,
7?
no, I'm still in chapter 7.
Okay.
Sorry. I basically only said 2 little things, and they're not really specific anything, but she's learning about Dark Fae because
Mhm.
she's trying to fix his wings, and she's learning about Dark Fae, and she mentions succubi being a Dark Fae thing, and I'm like, I was like, oh, I know one.
And that's interesting.
I know one. Where's your parents from? They're not. And then Cora sits there and tells her that that tower over there holds all the magic, all the continent's magic, and blah blah blah. And she's like, huh, I bet the orb's gonna be there. And I'm sitting there like, it ain't gonna be that fucking easy. It might be a
Yeah.
school, it ain't gonna be that fucking easy. Like, there's a reason why it's at a school. It's like fucking Harry Potter, everything's dangerous.
Right. Yeah.
And that's it. All right, now I'm ready for chapter 8. Sorry.
Okay, so for
Oh,
chapter 8,
oh, chapter 8.
listen, Gadriel shows up in her fucking room, right? To like, communicate and to
Brat
talk about
status.
shit. She's like, I'm on my period.
It's my moon cycle. Leave me alone.
And like, does it matter if it is? Like, that's not why you're being a bitch. You're being a bitch because your feelings got hurt. Like,
Right, and she even's like, we fought and obeyed. This is where I get like really frustrated because it's like that lady wanted the truth. She asked you, how do you know each other? Or like,
how
where,
did you
like,
meet?
who,
Yeah,
like, who are you to her? We fought and obeyed. Before then, he literally wanted nothing to do with you because he thought you were a
right,
witchling.
right.
Probably because of the fucking queen. He
I
probably was
can't.
like, oh shit, she sees through the curse. She's a fucking witch herself. Don't trust this bitch.
Yeah. And then
Like,
she's like,
I would have been so pessimistic. I'd be like, he doesn't like me. It doesn't matter. Like, I would have been the opposite end of this, like, fucking triangle here.
well, and then she's like trying to decide if she's going to tell him how she felt about everything or like talk to him about it. And instead, she says, I think I know where they're keeping the orb. Fuck you, Amaris. Like, come on. He was trying to
Right.
like talk to you and figure it out so you could
Because
actually
you've
like,
literally ignored him and
yeah,
he can't talk to anybody.
right. Nobody can understand him except for what the one Cora. Or
Not
no, not
Cora.
Cora.
Faye
The
who?
yeah.
Feyru. Faye something. Yeah, and it's just like, are you fucking serious? Like, bro.
She's being such a child and it pisses me off. It gets worse later, but like
Yeah, it's really annoying.
so she um he's trying to like get
Listen.
her to talk to him and to listen
Listen.
and to look at her. And she goes, fuck off.
Brat status. Listen.
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
And
This woke me up for a brief second.
right? He
I
was
was like,
like
yes.
he like grabs her face and he's like, I said, look at me. How are we supposed to fight together or trust each other if you're building a wall between us? Like,
Sir, you said that to me. I can't look at you now.
right? Well, and then she almost
Now I'm
like,
just embarrassed.
yeah. Oh, well, and then, oof, on the next page, on page 78, I, I wish a bitch would spit in my motherfucking face. Like, fuck you, Amar. That is, no. That's so, first of all, it's disgusting. Second of all, it's so disrespectful. What are you doing? Like, no. Just no.
Brat status, I'm telling you.
I wish a bitch would spit in my face. I wouldn't walk away. I wouldn't need you alive that badly.
I will figure this shit on my own.
You finna die. Well, now I
Screeching
know
and
that
all.
this other bitch understands what I'm saying and knows that so I don't need you anymore. I'll just bring her.
True.
Bye.
Fuck you.
Bye. Spit in my motherfucking face. And then she's like, he like pulls her hair or something and is like, "You're lucky
He
I
like
need you
holds it like
alive."
right here to force her to look at her.
Yeah. And she's like, an indefinable sensation spread to the tips of her innermost being. She felt whatever it was in her toes, in her capillaries, in her throat, and as a throb in more than one entirely too sensitive place within herself. And I'm like, what are we doing here? What's happening?
I
Like,
know. I feel like this.
my queer
Listen,
heart is breaking a little bit.
and that's what I said. I was like, I know this is an LGBTQ like movie or book, but like, I enjoyed that. Like, I I enjoyed this chapter, not the spitting, but I enjoyed this whole scene mainly because he's a dark-haired, dark-eyed man.
A daddy
Uh,
gad.
Daddy Gadriel. Um, but that brat behavior,
Mm-mm.
not the spitting, that's just nasty.
Yeah, no.
But everything else, I was like, whew. But I think it was forced. I feel like it was forced.
Yeah, I didn't
I
like
don't.
it.
I I like the scene because that's what I like. I enjoy like reading that, like that build up kind of thing.
Yeah,
But these aren't the characters that the build up are for.
yeah. I didn't.
Like,
I don't know why, but like spitting is a huge thing for me. Like it's one of my big triggers. Like it's super disrespectful. It's disgusting. Like, I, so when she spit in his fucking face, I was like, I would have snapped her fucking neck. If I was a dark fae general with her life in my hands, I would have snapped her fucking neck.
yeah.
Spit in my fucking face, nasty
I
asshole
just feel
bitch.
like the whatever the fuck is happening between her and Gadriel is like being forced, and it's just like weird.
Yeah, because he's also like way older than she is. So
Okay, but when has that ever stopped you from liking that?
okay, but it's like
Okay, no, shut the fuck up.
it's different in this one. I don't know. It's
No,
also
it's
creepy.
not. It ain't.
It's also
It ain't.
creepy in fucking Akatar, but
You know, I really like Cassian. Yeah, I like Cassian. Yeah, I like Cassian. Nesta,
I do
fuck
like
Nesta, but
Cassian.
I do like Nesta. Gadriel, he's too old for her.
I don't know. I guess like he doesn't seem he doesn't even seem the same age. Like he's I don't know. I don't know how to explain what I mean. It's just
I'm
it feels different.
okay. Whatever the fuck that is. I don't like it because she's literally just got pissed off because he said that they're not friends. And she's not talking to him for a few days because he didn't say that they were friends. And not that like he is, doing this because like of a sexual brat nature. He's doing it because she's being disrespectful, and as a general, he's not used to like seeing that.
Yeah.
But like being treated like that and like hair pulled, all of that kind of like brat nature turned her on. To be real, turned her on. But I feel like that jump from not this to like possible lovers, like
Yeah. I didn't like
that's
it.
driving an agenda that's like left field, especially what's coming up in like the next few chapters.
Yeah. I
That's
don't
why I'm
know.
saying.
We'll see. I think maybe it's because like in my head they're like like he's more of like a father or
Brother.
older brother figure
Yeah.
than that. So when that was in there, I was like, ew.
Yeah.
But that's all I had for chapter 8. That's basically the end of chapter 8. Um
Chapter
so
9.
chapter 9. Um they break into the tower the magic tower or whatever, basically. But not together. Well, it wasn't supposed to be together. Amar was going to do it on her own, and so was Gadriel, and they ended up going together.
I wish there was more, fucking planning.
Yeah, but no, no. And then they get into this fucking tower, and then there's the other library, right? So it's like the more magical Harry Potter type library, and like 7,000 stairs, which reminded me of Nesta trying to leave the House of Wind.
Yeah.
Um, but also like there's a point where Amaris, like one of the books in this library is like drawing her in, and I'm like, that's important. Like that's gonna come back later, I feel.
Yeah. So much so that she like went ahead and touched something that is so actively charged that you can see
Yeah,
that it's got a fucking charge to it. And you're like, metal, let's touch it. I want this
yeah.
book.
And so like I feel like that's gonna come back later, and that book is gonna be important. But um, they keep going up, and there's like a floor of like enchanted objects, and then a floor with a really creepy fucking lake that I don't know. It's just creepy. And
Yeah,
then
I was, again, it could have been for me falling asleep and being tired, but like I was not following what was
yeah, so
happening.
like they keep going up all these stairs, and every floor there's like something new. And then finally they get to this door that like doesn't open easily, and then somehow Gadriel opens it like kind of magically and kind of by pushing it open. I don't know. It's not really easy to understand. Um,
Yeah, it's really kind of um
and she also is confused. She's like, "What the hell was that?" Like
like he
Amaris
whispered
was.
to the door, like the wood. Like he whispered to the wood.
Yeah. So I think that that's supposed to be some foreshadowing about his character, but I was not really following it. I was also tired as I was reading, so it could be that I just wasn't following, but it didn't make sense to me. Um, but then fucking they get into this room, and there's like a bunch of this also gave Harry Potter. I was actually thinking Harry Potter when I read this, like from the Hall of Prophecy.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of shells with like blue glowing orbs, and a giant chasm in the floor in between them and the orbs. Except Amaris is the only one that can see that. So Gadriel almost fucking falls in the hole. And she's like, where's it fucking at? She's like, you nearly walked off the edge, and he's like, what edge? And she's like, what? You're so distracted that you can't bother to check your surroundings. And he says, what edge, Amaris? And she's like, oh, it's an illusion. Like,
Oh, that's right. See, and this is really, really what frustrates me too, because it's like they know she can see things.
yeah.
And I'm
What do
sitting
you
there
mean, what
like,
edge? Like, hello?
like, bro, you're a general with years, like hundreds of years of military training and planning. And you have literally somebody who could see illusions right in front of you. You have that tool. Why are you not using that at your disposal?
Yeah.
Amaris, what do you see in this room Describe
Yeah.
it to me. Use it as a fucking sensory thing. I don't give a fuck. And then if it's
Yeah.
anything that she sees that you don't, done. What the fuck? It can't be that easy. Let's just cross this fucking bridge to get
Or
over
let's
to
just
a blue
walk
light.
across the room.
Absolutely not.
And then there's this really dramatic scene where like Gadriel fly jumps across the fucking chasm. And that's fucking trust, honestly, because he can't see how deep or how wide or anything, how big this pit is. Um and like I would like so if so this is how not trustful I am compared to Gadriel. Gadriel's like, there's a fucking chasm I can't fucking see. You say I can jump it with my wings? Got it. I'm gonna do it. I will not turn my car into traffic or onto the street without looking for myself. I don't care if somebody says
Honestly,
you're good
though.
to go. Nope. I don't give a shit what you say. I'm not going until I can see that it's clear. Nope.
Right?
So
Like,
hello.
I have been gullible way too many times for me to believe anything dangerous like that. But
Yeah.
it's just frustrating because you know what kind of library you have at your disposal. You know what kind of fucking tool and power you have in Amaris, and both of you don't even fucking use either one of them for any of this.
No.
And like I can understand the general, or not the general, but like Amaris not realizing, like
That
thinking
he
because
can't
of
see it, yeah.
like I can understand that because it's newer to her. She's newer to all of this, like being out on her own, not on her own, but like on her first mission.
And
She's
also, like,
younger.
what the fuck do you mean you can't see it? What do you mean what pit? The fucking pit right there. Like,
Yeah. Like I can understand that. But the general, bruh.
that's the whole reason that you need her alive. Like,
Yeah, that's the whole reason why you went in to save her, because you needed her alive, because she might be the fucking tool for your country's curse.
yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
man, I'm
And
just
this
really
is all
frustrated.
just a stupid idea, first of all. Like, because then when she jumps, she doesn't make it because it's too far. And he, like, ruins his wings even more to save her. And now I'm like, how the fuck are you going to get back out? Like, what? Idiots. Anyway, this was a stupid idea. And then they just start fucking touching orbs.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here like, man, he is like never going to recover from any of this. Like, I highly doubt he is ever going to be able to actually truly do anything
Well,
with
I don't know
any
if
of
it's just
this.
that Gryffindor energy that I'm just so like against, but like she just walks up to the shelves and starts picking shit up.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, well,
Oh wait, did I just skip into the next chapter?
you did, but that's fine.
Okay, chapter 10. That's in chapter 10. But yeah, she just starts fucking picking up the orbs. Like, hello, what if they're curses, right? Or they're magic.
Yeah,
So
they're in from like Harry Potter. I'm like seeing like they went like they're down like when they're like in the memory orb
yeah.
area. That's kind of what I'm seeing, and then like the bluish lights from that. I think that's why I'm getting strong Harry Potter vibes from this.
Yeah, no, I definitely thought that as well when reading this part.
And then but like I think they're like bigger orbs, kind of like from what's that, the Pixar, like the Emotion movie.
Oh, yeah. Um Inside Out.
Yeah, Inside Out. That's kind of what I'm like
Yeah.
picturing.
I was just like I wrote it on page 103 because she just fucking picks up the orb and I'm like, "Well, that was brave." And by
She's just
brave, I mean
watching somebody's
stupid.
thing.
Like, she had no idea what was going to happen when she picked that up. Like, it could have killed her. It could have transported her to a different dimension. Like, she had no idea what was going to happen.
Especially after what happened on the first floor.
Yeah.
When she was like, oh, I want to touch that. And then she just touches something and her hand's like fucking welted up. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then, like, they go through and touch, like, a couple of different ones. And then all of a sudden they find this random fucking person just sitting in the middle.
Yeah, like, when they would, like, walked across something, they see him, like, between... Not really the shelves, but, like...
Yeah. In,
it,
like, a
like,
little
goes
alcove or
back.
something.
Yeah.
So this is what I was talking about. This is when I said I would come back to it. So he says that if they, like, deserve a memory or something like that, or take the knowledge that was meant for you and seek nothing further. So she touches the orb or whatever, and it...
Yes.
Sir. Okay.
He's like, Mom, just love me.
Yeah. So, and they're in with, like, the queen and God damn it, chaos. The queen and then a fae of from somewhere, but we don't know who yet. And she's like cursing him. So she's like, return all you like, return every day, fly to her every night. Is her Princess Daphne?
That's what I'm saying.
I think so.
I'm saying.
And then, not only that, but somewhere in here, the man flared on page 112. The man flared his wings, protecting whatever hid beneath them.
The child.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got the
prince.
Baby. Yeah.
I think it's the prince.
And I think the queen doesn't want the whole world to know that there's no fucking prince, that the North has him, and so that's why she's projecting him. Ah!
Well, and is the prince actually the, like, half dark fae? Like, is the prince... Yeah, like, is that the prince's dad? And
yeah.
So that's yeah.
Like, did they marry each other in, like, a secret wedding, and, like, the queen was like, no.
Right. And then the other question being, was the princess also there? Like, does he also have the princess? Did he take Princess Daphne? Because they said she died, but, like, did she? Or did he take her too?
I wonder. Well, I feel like she's definitely dead, because I feel as if the word would have been out and about. If so,
maybe, but she could have also, like, the queen can
frozen
do, like, projections. So, like, she could have made it look like the princess was still there and then had her die.
I kind of wonder too if maybe she's, like, not necessarily dead, but I wonder if she's actually I honestly thought you were doing something with your mouth, like a noise.
That was the cat. And not the orange one. It was Kemper.
Kemper's like, here we go. I choose violence. But I feel like I think maybe even Murray, or whatever the fuck, Murray, I think is her name. Moray. I think she killed her.
She probably did.
Like, pissed off at her like, at her daughter, for whatever the case.
Probably for being with a Rascot Fae.
Yeah. That she didn't approve of, you know.
Yeah. And then that's all I had for chapter 10, because that was basically the end of chapter 10.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I knew it.
Thrown out of the tower, basically, and that's the end. And then Gadriel is like, I do know who that was, the winged fae from the vision was. That was my cousin, King Sirius. So that's how we
I
find out
knew it.
who it was. Yeah. And then chapter 11 is really short. Um, Basically, we're back with Nox, Ash, and Malik, and they are um, planning how to like break into the castle, right?
Yeah.
Um, but Nox is using the pen that she stole from Millicent's office, which is a magic pen. Um, and it's the magic of the pen, which I forgot for a second. So I was like, is the pen sentient? Like, what is happening? Because I was getting
Right?
Harry Potter vibes again, like Tom Riddle's journal kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait, no, it's connected to another pen. So I'm like, who has the other fucking pen? Because they're like, why are you drawing the castle?
I kind of wondered if like somebody in the North Kingdom has the pen,
Yeah, I kind of wondered that
because
too.
she, Millicent doesn't necessarily like, Millicent obviously has some type of power.
Yeah, for sure.
Millicent doesn't necessarily like the queen though, but she likes power as in the social status. So I was like, well, it would probably be advantageous for her if she gets obviously like enough people to like down with the queen kind of thing, you know,
Right.
to get, so like why not go with, you know, the Northern Fae?
Yeah.
But that was just my hot take. But
Yeah, I feel like I was trying to decide, or like my thing that I was trying to guess is this person that has the other pen going to end up being an ally or an enemy? Like,
yeah,
what's gonna
like the
happen there?
trifecta kind of enemy thing.
Yeah.
I really really like the Nox um chapters. I think just because it's got more funny quips in it.
Yeah, and I just like Nox better in general.
I Amaris is just really pissing me off because she literally goes from he said we're not friends to getting turned on by actions, and then all of a sudden being like, oh, I don't want
Yeah,
him this near to me, but I also don't want him to go away. And it's like, what
she's
the
getting
fuck?
on my fucking nerves.
So it was, yeah. Ugh. But that was part two to the sun and its shade. I almost called it the night and its I almost called it the night and its moon.
I
But
heard that.
no, you didn't.
I did.
Nope. You heard nothing. Until next time.
Bye.